Live from Jam in the Van headquarters in Santa Monica, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, from The Woody Show, Woody. With Gina Grad on news and Bald Bryan on sound effects, and now, anytime he's in the van, don't bother knocking, because the van is rocking. Adam Carolla!
Yeah. Mike Dawson. Mike smells like nicotine and mediocrity. I can only say that if he wasn't really funny in his set that he just did. Now, obviously, if he bombed, I'd be awesome stuff. Good stuff. All right, so I walk around. I carry a buck slip. I make notes. I talk about things I see during the course of the day. And, first, a rich man, poor man I thought about today. Not scintillating. I'm not going to oversell it, but kind of true. Rich man, poor man, this stuff rich people and poor people have in common, but not the middle class. Walking down the sidewalk carrying a bunch of bags. It's either every fucking thing you own or Macy's had a sale and you just maxed out your American Express black card. So I went to a breakfast place in Malibu today, and Malibu's pretty woke. And although I'm starting to suspect no one's really woke, there's just people who want you to think they're woke, and then there's the fucking rest of us who don't give two shits who want to get on with their fucking lives. But it's actually kind of, I never really looked forward to death, but the way things are going, I will have thoughts of relief as friends and family gather around my hospital bed to bid me adieu. So anyway, I go into this place in Malibu, and I actually wrote it down because they have a big 6-foot sign right when you walk in, and it tells you the people that they welcome. They welcome all cultures, all colors, all sizes. Well, sure, you're a restaurant. You want some fucking heavyweights in there. This one is weird, and I do not condone this one. All abilities. I've hired a few of those. Not everyone has equal abilities. All genders, all religions, and then it ends with all people are safe here. Now, I don't know why we need to fucking put this on a plaque and put it on the wall. I'm just assuming all people with money are safe here. I don't go into a subway, not see a sign that decrees who's safe in here, and assume that folks of a different persuasion are being hunted like nutria. But then I realized I don't like it when you end it with all people, because now you've essentially said every race, every ethnicity, every religion, every size, every tone, every form of genitalia, and then you end it with all people. You could have just said, we welcome all people. And then I started thinking, yeah, it's what used to piss me off about those all-purpose detergent commercials, like OxyClean. It's good in the kitchen, good in the bathroom, good in the vans, RVs, boats. Everywhere you use clean. Just say everywhere. I'll do the boat and the RV math, you assholes. It seemed like a long way to get to everyone. Also, I was thinking about it, too, like where they go, here's who's welcome here. It's on every fucking idiot's lawn now. See those people? It's all over their fucking car. Coexist, assholes. By the way, The Coexist bumper sticker is awesome on the Prius at the Sprouts at Venice Beach. Fucking take that thing to the Middle East and see how you do. Probably couldn't do it on one charge. But I remember back, like, I liked it when you would enter a restaurant and they would tell you what you couldn't fucking do in the restaurant. Not all welcome. No shoes, no shirt, no dice, man. No dogs and no ferrets and no parrots. All right. Also, I know you guys are complaining, you guys live in this city. It's coming undone. I get it. I feel the same way. But I'm also pissed. Like, I'm pissed that this city uses technology and has such a grasp on technology in some departments, and then in others is essentially a D- student wearing a wind-up beanie and drooling. And I'll give you an example. I fucking hate those signs, those electronic signs you pass every 80 feet to tell you how fast you're going. I have something on my dashboard that tells me how fucking fast I'm going, assholes. I understand it's a 45 and I'm doing 61. I get it. It's an agreement. Me and my right foot made with my fucking dash. I understand it. I don't need you telling me something I already know. And by the way, what, 750,000 taxpayer dollars per pop? Just a fucking digital sign to let you know what you already know? Then I thought, all right, well, that's technology, right? They got a pole. They're every 500 feet on PCH. They're all over the place in neighborhoods and everything. Speaking of neighborhoods, I can't drive into a residential neighborhood anymore without one of those stupid signs telling me the kids play here. I get it. You have kids. You like some of them. You don't want me to run them over. Understood. I'd like to avoid running over Junior as well. It's an unspoken agreement we have when I drive through your neighborhood. Could you picture one of our parents putting a sign up? My mom was out in the lawn waving cars into my bedroom. Come on, he's sleeping. Get him. But they have the sign, and the sign's every 500 feet, and it's 170 grand a pop, and it's telling you how fast you're going, and it's hitting your car with radar, right? I mean, I'm sure we all have testicular cancer now from driving up and down and being hit by these gamma rays, but it hits your car, it finds out how fast your car is going, and then it projects it up on this screen that lets you know exactly how fast you're going when you're 500 feet away on the highway. And I thought, well, that's a piece of technology. The same fucking city that can do that cannot find the resources or the technology to not have the fucking sprinklers going off by the side of the freeway when it's pouring outside. Can't wrap their fucking technological mind around an $18 item you can get at Home Depot in the plumbing department. That is a bridge too far. But the laser beam that hits your car from a mile away and then projects it up digitally on a giant sign, that we can pull off. You know why we can pull that shit off? Because that shit cost us money. That shit is something the cops can look at and write you a ticket and make them money. Them watering the side of the freeway when it's pouring outside doesn't make them any money. It saves the taxpayers money, and they don't give two fucks about that. All right. You didn't know it was going to turn into a QAnon rally, did you? All right, should we get started with the show and bring out Bald Bryan and Gina and Woody from the Woody Show in the morning, 98.7. That's right. Alt 98.7. Syndicated, by the way, on stations across the country. Sidle up to a microphone. It's a little cramped up here. Welcome to the show, Woody.
Thank you. I'm excited about it. I'm a little anxious, but we're good.
That's all right. We're gonna work through this together. Or not. I don't give a shit. I get paid anyway. So you've been doing mornings for how long now?
In Los Angeles, 7 years, and then when Howard left for Sirius, as you know, and that was, 2006 is when I started doing mornings, but been in radio for a long time, since I was 17.
Yeah, I always had this answer because I replaced Howard Stern on the West Coast, and people would say to me, aren't you scared? Aren't you nervous? Aren't you cautious about replacing Howard Stern? And I would say, well, what if somebody said, Jennifer Aniston would like to fuck you, but she used to fuck Brad Pitt. Aren't you worried getting naked in front of her? And I would say, yes, but it's a chance I'm willing to take. 4 months later, I was off the air. No, so you came out here in 14, was it?
Yeah, 2014.
Was now 98.7 used to be Star 98.7.
People still call it Star.
In my day, it was Star 98.7.
Yeah.
Right.
People still call it Star.
And now it's
Really?
Yeah.
well, maybe it's on them. It's like
yeah.
it's like when they try to take a freeway overpass, and it was always the 101 to the 134 pass. So it's like Officer Randy McDougal Memorial. No one's ever said that in their life.
Has anybody ever called it the Willis Tower in Chicago? It's the Sears Tower.
Oh, the
It's always
Sears
gonna be
Tower.
the
It's
Sears
called the Willis Tower.
Tower. Yeah. Officially, it's the Willis Tower.
I
They
didn't think I was
renamed
going to
it.
learn anything tonight.
What you talking about?
You learned something.
I got that, Brad.
That's good.
That's for you, buddy.
That's good, buddy. So you work 6 to 10.
So, well, kind of, because we're on stations on the East Coast. So I get up at 1. I'm at the station by 2. We go on the air at 3.
Ah.
Yeah. And then we're on the air till 10. Quit? Who said quit? Fan?
Yeah. So wait a minute. You're on the air until 10?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Is this a how many? Is this a 9-hour?
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
7, technically.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was gonna make fun of you for making.
I'm doing it either till I drop dead or till I make enough money that I can just retire and not wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning anymore. Or until I can start doing something like what you're doing and just do whatever the fuck you want to do it. Which is
Let
pretty-
me tell you,
pretty
there
sweet.
are things in between being independently wealthy and dropping dead.
Those are the only two options.
I should have my dad call you. He's figured out a way to sail through life without participating in either one of those things. He's successfully figured out a way not to be successful and to still have a heartbeat.
Well
so
done.
I'll put them together with you after the show. Wait a minute. This is mind blowing to me because I used to do mornings and it was a 4-hour shift and we didn't play music, so it was kind of it was a long 4 hours. It felt longer to the audience, but it was still long to me as well. But 1 a.m.
That's the wake-up call, and then by the time I get to the station, it's 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we got an hour to get it together before we go on at 3.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what you were working in Pittsburgh before, in San Francisco, or what was it?
Yeah, well, typical radio journeyman kind of half-assed military life story of working in a bunch of different markets. But before we came to L.A., we had been in St. Louis for maybe 5 years. I was in San Francisco, so when we got hired to replace Howard, they put us in San Francisco at a station, Live 105, and Live 105, Bay Area person. So, and we actually ended up getting ratings there, and so they fired us. We were second in the market behind like a Spanish station. So
By the way, that's a common thing that he just said. We
Yeah.
ended up getting ratings, so they fired us.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a
as a
very
result-
typical thing
Well,
up here.
There was like some new asshole that came in who had like this idea, and he and I just didn't get along. And anybody who's ever listened to the show, it's pretty much we do the things that we think that we should do, and we'll take into consideration others' opinions like management. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to get fired for something, I'd rather get fired for knowing that I gave it my best shot as opposed to somebody sitting there telling me that I didn't execute their shitty plan right.
That's what we did wrong.
Yeah.
Hold on, there are other options to be fired. I would like to get fired for fucking the program director's wife, other than blazing my own trail or having some sort of artistic integrity.
It's not artistic integrity. I've been fired enough, at places where, the station was fucked up and you're just following their stupid guidance, and then you're like, wait a minute, I knew this was wrong the whole time. Like, so if I'm going to take the fall for it, I don't want to be the guy who, you're just a shitty on-air person or whatever. I'd rather just
get that drop.
Yeah.
But, I rarely side with management, but...
Here we go. You've changed, man.
No, listen, I'm like you. I'm the same way. But let's just think about this philosophically for a second. I've never thought about this. Because I've always been the same way. It's like, you got to do more of this. You got to take more calls. You got to give out the time. You got to do it, this, that, and the other. And I was like, hey, man, I'm an artist. I do my own thing, man. I'm a wild stallion that can't be tamed but likes to get paid. So I like to balance. I like to strike a balance between my wild stallion and fucking get a paycheck. But
I'm a wild stallion who needs health insurance.
That's right. I need dental and a 401k. Stallion. But let's just philosophically break this down, because we've all done radio and we've all pushed back against the man and had the evil program director and had people trying to change us.
They're just called program directors.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, publicist, program director, tax collectors, but you're all right. So, but philosophically, I think maybe I'm having a breakthrough here, because they always would come up and go, here's what I want you to do. And then we, being the artists, go, no, man, I do my own thing. I got my own take, and you can't tame me. But what other job works this way? Like, do you think if you work at a Jiffy Lube and your boss goes, I need you to rotate the tires before you change. Hey, man! No one tells me how to work this grease gun.
You're right. Even an artist gets commissioned to paint like a painting.
Right.
I'm an artist, man. I do what I want. It's like, yeah, I'm hiring you to paint my kids.
You are in charge of restocking the meats at the Costco, and I like the salmon next to the beef tenderloin. Hey, man! I do my own thing with the salmon.
I thought that's why you hired me.
No one can control me. I don't think you could do that at the post office.
No.
Like, look, your route, you got to drop this stuff off by 8 a.m. 8 a.m.? I don't roll over in bed at 8 a.m., man. Nobody can control me and tell me where to drop off these parcels. I drop them off where I feel like they belong, man.
Or where they don't.
Or where they don't. Can't control me. Maybe we should listen to the man. I feel like it's a job, you know?
Well, like you said, there's a balance.
There's a balance
between listening to a guy who's never done the job that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Who's maybe read a book on how to hit a baseball, but have you ever faced down like an actual major league fastball? Probably not.
Right. Well,
and let's face it, for the most of your time in radio, you're not making shit anyway. So it's like losing your job at McDonald's. Who fucking cares? So
yeah.
And we're radio people.
Hey,
so
man, you can't tell me how to sear patties. I don't use a searing tool. I use an ass cheek. And you're right. They never did this job. Hey, Bill Belichick, did you play in the league? I don't think so. So we're running out of the T formation for the rest of the season. That's the way I do it. You never put cleats on. Why are you telling me how to run a route?
Yeah.
You're right, Woody.
That's a fair point.
I'm taking this on the
Woody
road.
said so.
That's a fair point.
So
maybe I need to rethink everything.
You got to go in.
You got me thinking now.
Now, my favorite part, the only part I really miss about doing morning radio shows is seeing the folks that are on the road. And I don't know if you've experienced this. I know you guys have for sure. Like, when you hit the road at 5:20 in the morning every day, 93% of the cars you see on the road are other losers heading to their shitty early morning jobs.
Very true.
But
Or drunk.
7% of the people, you'll see the dude with the 90s Z car with the T-tops, smoking a menthol, wearing a suede vest with no shirt under it. And you're like, that guy's coming home.
Yep.
That guy's not going anywhere. He's going back
It's been a night.
from somewhere.
Yep.
So you're out. So what time do you leave the house?
1:30.
1:30.
1:30. Get to Burbank, half hour. I got to make a stop at the 7-Eleven. That's pretty much the only diversion.
You go to bed around noon?
You would think, but not so
Well,
much.
the big question is
Wife and kids, and,
nap
there's
or
never-
nap or no nap.
Nap.
Okay, yeah, I was a
Got
nap
to
guy
when you
too,
can.
but I know plenty of radio
When you
people that
can.
are like, no, got to power through.
Couldn't do
The
it.
worst thing
Couldn't
I
do
did,
it.
it's a great bed, but the worst thing I did is I got the sleep number bed because somebody told me, oh, it's cool, it tracks your heart rate and your breathing rate, and it gives you a sleep score. I'm competitive, why not? So I get into the fucking bed, and it's telling me just how shitty I'm sleeping, and so now that's got me more anxious than
Right.
if I just got shitty sleep and didn't know it.
Right.
Like, well, it took you an hour and 15 minutes to fall asleep, and your score is 34 out of 100. And you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Can't even do that
Can't
right.
even do this right, yeah.
I feel the same way about memory foam.
Yeah.
I don't need that mattress.
No.
I want a mattress with a short memory,
Yeah.
not a memory like an elephant.
Ooh,
God knows what kind of talking that mattress could do when I'm gone.
I got an idea. This is millions. Memento mattress.
Yes.
Every 5 minutes, forgets what it
It
knows.
resets like a
Or
goldfish.
maybe just not memory. Maybe the selling point would be short-term memory foam.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like, is Carolla beating off compulsively? I don't know.
What are we talking
I
about?
only go back about 8 minutes. Now, obviously, if I could go back a few weeks, yeah, I could run a tally for you. But
think
I'm
once
short-term memory foam.
Once again, you're onto something.
Yeah, hey, Mike, get to work on short-term memory foams. You know some guys down at the lab, don't you? All right.
Hey,
so,
before we move
yeah.
on too far, we should describe the milieu of what we're looking at. This is a pretty
Please.
sweet setup. So we got these are. Thank you guys for coming out. By the way, this is awesome. Great for me. 3 minutes from my home. Oh, I have an idea. We should do every show here from now on.
Yeah.
Everyone on the show. Well, let's put it to a vote. Everyone on the show who's in favor, play a sound effect.
Mangria moment.
So well, why don't you describe it, Brian?
These are all, I guess you would call them all beach chairs. They're very loungy chairs with the
Camping chairs.
Yeah, there you go,
Camping
camping
chairs.
chairs. And everyone's got a cooler either next to them or
Betwixt
adjacent to them, full of beer. And it's a beautiful night. And this is and the heaters over there. Generators that are in everyone's
The
seats.
audience looks so cozy. We have by far the worst seats in the house.
That's actually true. I'm freezing.
You at least have a chair. I'm a fat guy on a stool, so.
That's true. At least I have a back.
I was walking around Malibu today, and do you know that Lululemon makes shit for dudes?
Not falling for this
That
trap.
was
No,
a
I did
test.
not.
You homos just failed that test. Yeah. And it's weird. I went in there, and the stuff looked pretty good for dudes. But here's my wiring. I'm like, $117 for pants? I don't think so.
We're in the sales section.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, maybe it's like $140.
Yes.
Now,
Easily.
so here's the thing. I'm rich, and I could afford $141 pants because if you think about it, if you took my annual income and you just put it up against one of you losers out there, that would be like you guys going to Target and going $2.20 for slacks? That's outrageous.
I'm not falling for this. That's how you stay rich.
But I can't think that way. I got my old poor brain on. But, Lululemon makes stuff for dudes.
Yeah,
you know?
so did you end up in a singlet, or what did you grab?
I feel... Well, first off, you walk in and they have a sign going, you can get all this shit online. Which is sort of like, well, what are we doing this dance for
Yeah.
here?
Pulled an Abe Simpson and just walked right out.
Yeah, it's like... I don't know if you own the store, if you want to put the sign that says you can get all this shit at home.
It's true, but the branding, I totally forgot about this. They have a sale once every 17 moons. I mean, never. And I called one time when I lived in Manhattan Beach, and I said, hi, I just want to know if Lululemon was having a sale. And you know what this motherfucker said to me? He said, excuse me, ma'am, we don't have sales. Occasionally, things are marked down, and this is not one of those times.
Wow.
Splitting hairs. Well,
Lululemon more comfortable about that letter.
Lululemon is also one of those cult brands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the people who are into Lululemon, they could be the same fucking pants, but if it has any other brand on it, it doesn't count. It's like Peloton's the same way. My wife is a Peloton whore and has every piece of Peloton shit they sell.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, why? Like, because it says Peloton? I love the Peloton. Well, clearly. But, like, so those people will buy anything. You don't need to mark.
You're right.
Not sale. You don't need to mark it down because
But
they'll buy it.
the joke's on them because, remember, they were the company that had to recall their yoga pants because everyone could see your
See-through.
vagina.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm sure that was a mistake. Not intentional.
Is the Peloton thing, is that just sort of like CrossFit? You know, it's like a club and you want to let everyone know you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a status thing.
It's a status thing.
You can easily get any other bike or any other treadmill and do the same thing. The Peloton, though, it's amazing because the trainers that they have on there are these over-the-top, obnoxious assholes.
Right.
You know, who are, like, how is this motivating anybody? They're super cheesy. It's kind of half between, like, kids show and military drill sergeant.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I don't know how anybody gets through a workout. Although, people will, like, apologize for them. Oh, well, you just haven't found the right person yet.
Yeah.
The right instructor.
And then the Peloton people have their own, like, well, you need to go with Christina's class, whoever the fuck it is.
Right.
And it's just a version of the same thing. But the Peloton people, it's cultish.
Do they, so does your wife have her personality trainers her personal trainers that she likes, or she's going to take that
I don't
class?
know. Do you? Yeah, she does.
And it seems, it's first off, it seems like those things should all be hooked up to generators. Like, I feel like
Yes.
in a time when we never stop, we're going to
Tremendous
cancel the
amount of power.
pipeline, and we're going to build an electric truck by Ford and all this kind of shit. I mean, there's got to be millions of those things spread out all over the place, and women go hard on those things for 60 minutes, right?
Yeah.
If you had a battery wall next to you that you could charge.
At least get something out of it. Because it's a big scam. Everything is way overpriced.
Right.
And they've convinced people. Here's another true story. This week, my wife says, I need you to replace the pedals on the Peloton. I said, why? Did they break? She goes, no, I bought new ones because they said they need to be replaced every X number of months.
Jesus.
I'm like, so they're not even fucking broken. And they have you convinced that you need to buy new pedals and put them on the bike just in case.
What's the potential danger of a bad pedal
like
on
your
a
foot.
stationary
With bad
bike?
tread.
Like your foot might not click
Next
in.
week,
or whatever
she's
that-
like, all right,
yeah.
I need some helmet money.
Right.
That would be the ultimate. If they got to the point where they could sell helmets, that's when you know you're full cult status at that point.
Yep.
So it's an hour of. Do they have?
Could be 20 minutes.
Do they have the 20-minute version of that?
Yeah.
Do they have? Remember, I miss the exercise equipment. The exercise equipment that they must have sold 200 million units of, like in the 50s, was just that big
Yes,
burlap
the
band.
strap that just-
Shake band.
yeah.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
I know, but everyone wanted it to
Oh,
work
of
so
course.
badly
Yeah.
that it's like they'd go to the gym and they just put this strap around them and just lean back and,
And
it's
jiggle.
like, yeah. The only problem is you'd spill your daiquiri if it got going too fast, you know. But it's like,
Well, that time people were smoking while they're on it.
right,
You know,
right.
Getting healthy.
So there's there's the Peloton, and then there's
There's all
there's
kinds of
that
cults.
there's the mirror one.
Yeah.
That's
the wall,
crazy.
Yeah.
The wall, that one scares me because that feels a little Orwellian.
It talks to you, right?
What does it know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Oh.
very Snow White.
We have a version of that
Of course you do.
called tonal. And it's basically the mirror, but it has weights. So that there's like these arms that adjust and pull out, and you can do weight training.
Oh, wow.
Or all the other stuff like the mirror can do, and it is a little weird because it knows your form. It says, well, you want to start smoother, from the beginning of.
It's like elbows up.
I don't use it very much, as you can clearly see, but I'm aware of how it works, and so, yeah. But it is. I'm kind of wondering, how much does it know? What is it watching?
That's the question. There's a camera in there, yes?
There's a camera in there, and it also will.
Like
it'll know if you're trying to pull too much weight or doing too much or whatever. So you don't have to hurt yourself like you did in the old days.
We're going to have a Hal
That's how you learn.
situation. This is going to be very 2001.
Yeah, the Chinese must be monitoring this.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to know who the fit Americans are and who not to fuck with. And they're probably like, this guy's wife is super fit, but he's a tub of goo. We'll take him down, no problem.
She might be in trouble.
Don't waste a bullet on his fat ass. We'll kill him with a flip-flop. We'll just poison a peanut butter banana sandwich and leave it on his doorstep. Save the ammo for the fit people. This guy can't run serpentine for shit. We saw him through the fit mirror asking his wife if the thing had an ashtray on it. He's going to be easy. Yeah,
Woody, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. All right, should we do a little? What are we doing?
Rotten Tomatoes
game? Yeah, let's do that.
Listen to that noise. It's a high falsetto voice. It can only mean one thing, and you can feel it.
Got some names of flakes, and the game makes their picks. Guessing if it's rotten or fresh.
If you guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5.
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it. Give me the Rotten Tomatoes game. Now it's time to play it.
All right. A lot of great movies try to make you think. They ask a lot of important questions and force you to contemplate the choices you make, the relationships you have, and whether or not everything you know might be wrong. On the other hand, some movies just have a singular question on their mind, a question so important they make it the title. That is the subject of our Rotten Tomatoes game. For example, our first film is about a lot of things. Aliens, transgender strippers, weed-smoking dogs, ostrich farming, and a fridge full of chocolate pudding. But really, we just want to know the answer to the eternal question asked by Ashton Kutcher to Sean William Scott. From the year 2000, Dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
The tattoo scene in this movie is fucking perfect comedy.
Yeah, it's
They
got
the
some
dude
laughs.
with the sweet on the back. I'm like,
Right.
what does mine say? Sweet. What does mine say? Dude.
I've never seen this.
And then,
And
All right.
only scene I've ever heard of.
There's transgenders in this. I got nothing against transgender folks. But I feel, they go and Gina will go, oh, there's this transgender gal.
Yes.
Super hot.
Yeah.
But here's the way I feel about that.
You've never heard of Candace Cain.
I haven't, but I've heard of the Impossible Burger. And my question remains the same, which is, are we out of cows? And if the answer is no, then I'll take the beef.
Your question about Candace Cain is, are we out of cows?
Are we out of cows? I could picture some sort of Orwellian future where I'm forced to lay down with Candace, but as long as we've got sirloin out
I
there.
can't wait to relay this to Lady Bunny tomorrow night.
Please.
Candace.
All right.
She's
The
smoking.
critics couldn't have loved this, right? But
It's not that bad as a movie. I'm sure
it's
they
like
killed
it's
it.
fun.
I'm sure they killed
But
it.
no self-respecting critic would want to.
no, when you're
say.
thinking like a critic, you got to think like a humorless asshole.
Right.
Get how to play the game.
Yeah. All right. Everyone got their
We're locked in.
number
Woody doesn't have a
locked in.
writing utensil.
Well, Woody will go
Yeah.
first, and I'll go second.
It was definitely a splat. I'll say it couldn't have been above. I was at 35.
Ooh,
I had 39 in my brain.
Pretty close, 28.
34.
Dude, Where's My Car? Is rotten at 17.
That's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Actually, the worse the critics' ratings are for shit, typically the more I find I enjoy them.
Yeah,
Right?
very typical.
Next, we have a film about a popular psychologist who takes on the most obnoxious client he's ever had. When the patient tracks him down and interrupts his family vacation, everyone comes to love him, driving the doctor to near madness. Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray star in
a great movie.
1991's What About
I
Bob?
love this movie.
This is great.
Is this movie good?
It's fun.
It's fun.
I like this movie.
All right. The movie's
But
fun.
what do the critics think?
And this was before we all had reverence for Bill Murray.
That's true. You just thought it
Right.
was kind of lightweight back
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tom Hanks in his bosom buddy phase.
Yeah, but they like Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, that's true.
They like Richard Dreyfuss, and like I remember when this movie came out, it was seen as quirky and weird. It wasn't, like now it would just be kind of it would
Beloved
be,
now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say they said it was fresh.
Oh.
Give us a second. Give us
a second.
All right, sorry.
Okay.
All right. I got mine.
All right, same.
Okay.
We're good.
Fresh, and I'm gonna say it had a 71.
Ooh.
I had 72.
Right there with you guys. It was quirky at the time and not like
Yeah.
beloved, so I said 68.
69. Simpatico.
Nice.
What About Bob is certified fresh at 84%.
Yeah.
People liked it.
Next up, Johnny Depp stars as a young man in a small town with a lot on his mind. Whether it's his more morbidly obese mother who can't leave the house, or his mentally impaired younger brother, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, wreaking havoc on the town, there are a few things to look forward to until a new girl moves into town. There are few things to look forward to until a new girl moves to town and a budding romance begins to form. Juliette Lewis and Mary Steenburgen co-star in 1993's What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I used to see a lot of movies where some new hot chick would move into town and change everything. But it really never changed anything for me. It changed a lot for my buddy Chris, who would fuck whoever that chick was. But for me, I just get to talk to him about fucking the
What was
chick
that
who
like?
came to town and changed everything for him.
Right.
All right.
I think this movie is where the word problematic came into our lexicon
Oh, really?
because of Leonardo.
I think it was
No.
celebrated at the time.
At the time.
Celebrate at the time. Yeah, you never go full tard. You never go full tard. Learn that from another movie. All right. Well, the critics had to like this one, right? I mean, it's
It's a great movie.
quirky and weird.
It's a
It was
great
good and
Special needs.
Yeah,
special
sure.
needs. All right. I got a number. You got a number, Woody?
All right, I said not hold things up. I will say they liked it, and I will say it was 65.
Ooh, barely
low.
fresh.
Barely
Whoa.
fresh.
All right. I
Barely
had it
fresh.
at 92.
92.
I'm regretting my score now because I think it might be lower, but I went a little contrarian at 73.
I'm regretting not doing whatever Woody did because I think he's in the lead. I said 89.
But I kind of feel like if you would have made that movie now, it would have been seen as brave. Right?
Right.
Because
Oh,
you would have
maybe.
had, Although there would have probably been some outrage over you didn't get an actual retarded kid to play Leonardo DiCaprio.
You can't wrangle retarded. I got it on the license
Yeah.
plate frame. I say it, I live it, I mean it.
Yeah.
It's just you can't do it.
So I think at the time it wasn't as like, oh wow, like it
You
was-
can
that's
get
what-
you
that's
can get a
what-
Mexican kid to play an Indian kid, no problema.
No problem.
You can't wrangle retarded.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape is certified fresh
Yes.
at 90.
Oh,
I needed that.
Nailed it.
things just got boring. Oh, wait a minute. Damn it. Interesting.
Ice Cube stars in our
Fuck
next
that
film.
up every time.
Come on, man.
Every time.
Ice Cube stars in our next film about a man attempting to win the favor of a newly divorced woman. When the man and her children are banned from a cross-country flight, a long road trip and mild hilarity ensues. Jay Moore and Tracy Morgan also appear in 2005's Are We There Yet?
Ice Cube may have written this, right? Did
Sounds
he write
familiar,
this?
but-
Sounds like maybe he wrote it.
I couldn't tell you anything about this movie.
Does anyone's career have a wider range than Ice Cube?
No.
My God.
And nobody's resting face is pissed off more than Ice Cube. Like, he looks angry when he's snapping,
That's
right?
exactly right.
Although didn't Ice-T, he went from being in like Body Count and Cop Killer
Right,
and everything
and
else, and now he's playing a cop on TV. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, these movies can be funny, and they're like kids' movies, and maybe there's a little bump for kind of cultural thing, like let's not crap all over the black movie when they're doing a road trip comedy. So maybe a couple of points for that. But this is
We weren't that woke yet.
we weren't.
No.
This could go
Again now, heroic.
Yep. Okay. All right. I got a number in my head. What do you got?
All right. They fucking hated it. And maybe 30. I'll say 28.
Ooh.
I got 41. I thought they had some laughs.
Deuce, 22.
22.
I'm really shitting all over a movie I've never seen, and I really made up some points. I might lose them. I hope I don't. 13.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's a good guess, honestly.
Well, Are We There Yet? Is Rotten
Okay.
at 12.
Oh, damn it.
Putting on a show for the people.
I didn't think they hated it that much.
I'm so glad I wore my pretty shirt.
Gina's putting on a clinic, people. But it's a clinic for some shit you'll never use.
That's right.
So take it with a grain of salt.
That's exactly
But it's
right.
still a clinic.
And lastly, we have this Coen Brothers movie, loosely adapted from the epic Greek poem, the Odyssey. Set in the Deep South during the 1930s, George Clooney, John Turturro, and Tim Blake Nelson star as three escaped convicts on the search for hidden treasure, while a relentless lawman played by John Goodman is hot on their trail. From 2000, it's the film that asks us, "Oh, brother, where art thou?"
I'm too close to this. This is one of my favorite movies.
Really?
I
Really?
love this movie.
Because that's singing in it.
Yes. You don't like it, Brian?
No, it's good. I can't imagine it being anyone's favorite movie.
This is one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
It took me forever to see it just because of all the singing in the commercial that you kept seeing. I'm like, ugh. I'm not a musical guy. So, like, this is like,
But Clooney proves something, which is, you know you're hot as a dude when you can grow a goofy-ass mustache and still be equally hot, right?
He grew a John Waters mustache.
Yeah, he grew a John Waters mustache, and he's still hot.
Yeah.
That
That's a fella.
proves how hot he is. All right. I think the critics like this movie. I think Gina's got a lead. There's still some room to make up here. Seems like the kind of movie critics would love. Woody, how say you?
I think they really loved it, and they gave it a 90.
Ooh.
I had 89 in my head.
Little lower, 84.
90.
Wow.
"Oh, brother, where art thou?" is certified fresh at 78%.
Whoa.
Shit.
We're all up pretty high, so I don't think things are going to change.
Gina Grad.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you have made the podium
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, everybody.
for like the 100th consecutive time.
Thank
Well done.
you.
Woody. Well done, my brother, coming in with a score of 84.
Good. Respectable.
Bald Bryan.
Here we go.
Coming in strong with a 6-0.
Ooh.
60. Adam Carolla stepping onto the podium and pushing Woody off of it. Adam Carolla, your score is 76, beating Woody's 84. But not as good as Bald Brian's 60. Now, Gina Grad.
Yeah.
You really want to win.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you want to win.
Yeah.
It's going to feel good if you win.
Yeah.
Well, I got good news and bad news.
Okay. Getting my curtsy ready.
The bad news is, folks, the game is over. The good news is, Gina Grad with a score of 46!
46!
Takes the win!
Wow.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without all of you. I want to thank God. I want to thank Adam. I want to thank Dawson. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good night.
That is a solid-ass score. That's
Thank you.
under 10 per.
Too bad an unofficial game.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah, outdoor.
Yeah, it's live.
Win-aided.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Unofficial.
It's unofficial. But still moral victory. All right, shall we roll into some news with the winner, Gina Grad?
Let's do
here?
it.
Let's do that.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral. Weird crime protest politics. Give me news with Gina Grad. Stuff they saw on TMZ. Joe Biden. Kamala. Meet news with Gina Grad. The news with Gina Grad.
I don't think this will affect anyone in this audience, but nerd rage is strong right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sports, trading cards, and trading cards in general have skyrocketed in value over the past year or so, creating a newfound interest among fans that collect cards. But retail giants like Target have decided to get out of the trading card game altogether because there are too many violent altercations in the parking lot over these fakakta trading cards.
Yeah.
Target confirmed that starting
How
last week.
How do the nerds throw down in the parking lot? Like the
Oh,
guys like
spoken like a person who's never heard of LARPing. They cast spells on each other.
oh, they cast spells.
I feel like the sports nerd is more aggressive too. You know what I mean? Because they're in the sports world.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a Pokemon. There's it's Pokemon cards and NBA are I think the two biggest
Right.
ones that people are fighting over. But the people who are getting the cards, they don't have the NBA. These are the nerdy people.
Right.
And I don't know how they would settle that. Like 80s would be a dance battle.
Yeah.
So just
You bring your own cardboard and
like
boom
let's
blocks.
dance. Like
Yeah.
that's how the losers would do it. But now I think do they still play Dungeons and Dragons? Is that still a thing?
I think it's more tactile. Like I think
Yeah.
they reach for their Invisalign retainer and throw it at the other one, and then the guy pulls out his sunglasses that are prescription, probably.
And they slowly go dark.
The polarized.
Yes, yeah, that's how
Or
you
they
know.
probably have a replica Game of Thrones sword in their trunk. Or
Right,
some shit like
right,
that.
Right.
lightsaber or something
But-
like that.
But Adam, they do use your favorite phrase. Target said the trading cards won't be sold in the stores anymore out of an abundance of caution.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
The abundance of caution is when we started to slide into hell. The abundance of caution. First off, you had me at caution. Caution's enough. Because caution is like, ride your skateboard, but put elbow pads on.
Right.
Abundance of caution is we're taking the wheels off the skateboard. Out of an abundance of caution. Okay? Your kids can play soccer, but they have to double mask. Out of an abundance. Abundance of caution when they write the history books. Always unclear who they are. But when they write the history books, abundance of caution and zero tolerance will be the day the Chinese took over this place. When we started going we have a zero tolerance for what? You have a zero tolerance for everything until someone comes in and starts shooting everyone, and then it's game on. But we have a zero. This is a zero tolerance. It's this is a gun-free zone. Yeah, until it's not. Until it's not. Until some fucking beaked-up 14-year-old gets his dad's shotgun, and then it's not. But it's good that you've announced that so that the 14-year-old knows no one's going to return fire. All right.
Is it manufactured value, by the way? Because I'm wondering, you get a Pokemon card, you got to find somebody to buy it. People love to say like, "Oh, this is worth." Well, only if somebody's willing to
That's
buy it.
exactly right.
Right? So how many people are out there who are fucking crazy enough to spend $10,000 on a Pokemon card?
Virtual. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just manufactured hype? And so people feel like they need to get these cards.
The whole house of cards is falling, Woody.
Yeah, it's how people had Beanie Babies back in the day, and they thought they were going to put their kids through college with their Beanie Baby collection.
Cousin Sal had a Princess Di Beanie Baby that he thought he was going to retire with.
Because the tag was perfect.
Right.
There's no
Perfect
crease in the tag. You should see this thing. It's fucking mint.
Yeah, like literally he was hoarding Beanie Babies in the mid, like 97, 98. Yeah. Yeah, that was just, he
How's that
punched
working
his
out?
ticket to paradise. He's at work right now at a mill.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of this is, I've realized, like, no one wants to fucking work anymore. So back in the day, you'd be thinking about a job, you know what I mean? And like a trade, you know, and my dad was a pipe fitter, and I'm going to learn to be a pipe fitter. And now it's like, I'm going to buy shit and sell it for a lot more than I bought it for, and then I'll never have to learn anything. I can live my life in my underpants. It's going to be awesome.
You own 8 Paul Newman cars.
13. But I get where you're going with that.
Well, speaking of living life in your underpants, Pornhub used artificial intelligence to take some of the oldest erotic films out there and remaster them in 4K. The computer used a database of 100,000 adult images and videos to learn what this stuff is supposed to look like. Then it applied this new knowledge to restore and colorize these old skin flicks from 1896. Oh, wow. And as someone who watched it for research... 1896.
96.
I watched an 11-minute video, and...
By the way,
Gina, film.
The first camera was invented in 1895 and a half.
This was really more like a flip book.
Yeah.
You know what this would be good for?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, this is absolutely fake. But if it was, her merkin was so realistic. I think it does have to be from the turn of the last century.
All right. Let's talk ethics with an atheist. That should be the name of my next symposium. A moral issue about beating off to dead people, or
No.
is that just...
They're not dead when you're watching it.
You're celebrating them at their peak.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's
Yeah.
how they want to be remembered.
That's what they would have wanted, yeah.
I feel like, beating off to dead people's like women fighting in the octagon. Like, first blush, like, I don't know. Now it's like, I'm all in. I beat off to the women in the octagon.
It's like an afterlife movie, like defending your life. It's
Right.
like, why is everyone depicted as an old person? Depict them in like at their peak, you know what I mean? Like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because that's like legacy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, decades from now, people are still going to be jerking off to this when they're doing it. There's not going to be like an expiration on it.
Woody, that's gross.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's weird.
What's wrong with
That's
you?
weird. Really need
That's
you
weird.
to say.
It's over the line, honestly.
Seriously.
Get help.
No,
I hope Star doesn't find out about this.
it is kind of true. We don't call it Star anymore, Brent. But it is true that long after I'm gone, people may watch my documentaries or listen to my podcast, but they're not going to beat off to them, which is really the ultimate tip of the cap. You know what I mean?
Women might, because at that point, like, guys aren't going to be building shit anymore or like know how to do any of that stuff.
Right.
So that could be seen as like something truly impressive to them.
All right.
Woody's
All right,
like
so-
your audio fluffer.
I know. I like it. Audio
I'm just
fluff with
thinking
Woody.
ahead.
Yeah.
Just thinking ahead.
Sorry.
Next time you fly, you could be asked to step on a scale before boarding the plane. And I know this sounds like slippery slope stuff, but hear me out. Airlines need to calculate an aircraft's weight and balance when boarding passengers, but the data that's been used by airlines to guess the total weight of the passengers is outdated.
Oh, no.
So in other words, we're all getting heftier, and the FAA doesn't know how much we've sort of plumped to, so they can't do the calculations. Therefore, passengers may soon be asked to check their weight before boarding a plane so that the FAA can collect new data, and it's all in the interest, an abundance of caution.
They should do it like the Heart Attack Grill in Vegas, where there's a big digital sign up at the gate, and that's part of like the fun waiting. You get to like, I can't wait till that bitch gets on the scale. and you can take bets with your friends.
That's good.
Yeah, like if they want to do it like all on the down low, I don't think that'll be as exciting. I'll never fly again, but
I would award a hummus pita box to the woman who had the biggest chasm between what was on the scale and what was on her license. You are going to win a hummus box, sweetheart. Good news and bad news. You're going to be humiliated when I get on the blower for the airport to let everyone know what's going on here. But the greatest span between the 127 and the 206 that you're clocking in. I do love, it is funny when you get on a scale and you're trying to do that thing where you're like, well, I'm wearing my underwear, so that's 22 pounds, 25. I don't know. What's underwear weigh these days? 20 pounds, 25 pounds? So back that out. And then there's pubes. You got to figure.
I just took a sip of water. That's good for
that's got to be good for something.
If anybody wants to time this correctly, I weigh myself almost every morning, and I don't want to take any chances with any clothing or bracelets or anything. And my blinds are broken, and I'm too lazy to fix them.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So I will leave the mystery to all of you.
Now you shouldn't protest ladies too much about being weighed. That's a tell. And just like if we said to guys, we need to measure your cock before you get on the plane, you shouldn't protest too much because it's a tell. That's why I couldn't work for an airline. I'd just be like, all right, now we got to measure your dong.
You don't want to go to Phoenix that badly, do you?
Or if they want to be more embarrassing about the whole thing, instead of like, because they're not going to show everybody your weight, but if they had like one of those practice seats like they have at the amusement parks to see if you're too fat for the roller coaster, and they just have that at the gate, kind of like you can have like that little
the luggage will it fit?
Like
the
your
template.
Yeah,
it's a
except
template.
you got to see if you can. And it has the sides like the exit rows do. You got to be able to jam into that in order to get cleared. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't fly.
Yeah.
Or go cargo.
I don't know if you guys all own a vintage race car, but Paul Newman was a little guy, back to my race car collection. I don't think that guy was ever over 145 pounds in his career. He was a little guy, and his race car seats are made for him, and other seats don't fit in the car. You can't just put a Barca lounger in one of his race cars. So you have to get in, and when you get in, you can feel every ounce of skin that's on your body, and it's just good. I've told everyone, we started getting fatter when we decided that it was okay to leave the house in sweatpants, because anyone who's put jeans on or put a suit on, like, here's the whole thing. You know that little, like when you wear suit pants, you know the extra weird flap button they have inside?
Yeah.
That's not there to keep your pants on.
Oh, no.
That button on the outside's enough to keep your pants on. That's there so you don't get fat.
Yeah.
Because when you try to attach that button, that's when you're like, oh, fuck. I got to
tell the truth time.
Yeah, I got to back off the...
That's literally gut check time.
It's literally gut check time. And there's no other reason why that extra flap and button is there. And everyone used to put on a pair of those slacks and get into a suit before they got onto the plane. Now everyone's just crawling into their Lululemons and sweatpants and their, Peloton gear. But no, everybody is getting into sweatpants and hitting the plane now. And the sweatpants, they're basically like, the fish will get to the size of the aquarium. Yes. And this is a never-ending aquarium for your gunt. Thank you. I'm picturing the Mexican family that lives in this apartment building over there. What the fuck is this gringo talking about? About aquarium pants? Bye!
Just out of curiosity, has anybody here ever been at the amusement park like, I'm sorry, sir, you're not going to be able to ride? You have?
Oh, we got one.
Yeah. It happened to me. You happened to you too? Oh, too tall.
Sure.
Oh,
too tall.
I'm too tall.
Okay, you might have a point.
Oh, my God, it's Paul
too
Bunyan.
Tall. My dick's too big.
Smart.
Too much money. Man.
Baited
Too
the
tall.
porker in and then
People
fucking dropped the
I
boom.
eat and I eat and I eat and I don't gain weight. When? Fuck. I wasn't allowed to ride the Harry Potter ride at Universal, and I had like my son with me, which is extra embarrassing. Yeah,
Did
so
you
that's what I'm
put
saying. This
him on?
shit would work at the airport.
Yeah. Did he go without you and like, screw you, fatty?
No, they
he
wouldn't
didn't.
let him because he's like a little kid. Yeah.
What do
so
you,
I sent my wife the Peloton shit.
Woody, and the person said you can't get on?
They literally couldn't click it down enough. I've lost weight since then, but they literally couldn't click it down enough.
And they asked you to get off and leave?
I have no pride, or I have I have no
Were they
shame.
like-
So it, like,
Were they like abracadabra?
I
alakazam?
felt bad for my son because like the ride stopped,
they had to get
and,
off.
and then we were the ones getting off, and everybody could see why.
Woody
It's
was
like a walk of shame.
Woody was so irate. He was
Yeah.
this close to stabbing the guy with his churro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Let me bite
Yeah.
a point on this thing. You
Yeah.
want some?
yeah.
He does the churro move where he throws it from hand to hand. Come on, man. You want some?
And
Then
you
he
gotta
cuts
think
himself with his own churro, like in Predator. Takes his shirt off and just drags her
He
across.
bleeds cinnamon.
And you gotta think like
Billy, right.
they developed this ride so the Americans can ride it. So how fucking trashy do you gotta be to get like a Walmart van? How fat do you need to be to not be able to go on an amusement park ride?
Right.
Can I?
Like, that was just.
I was on.
some shit.
I haven't told this story in a million years, but it's an absolutely true story. You know when like shit goes down in your life, like you kind of hope somebody beats you to the punch. Like I'll give you a good example. Like if you're driving in the car and there's a few of you in the car and you're driving up to the Bay Area or something, and you got to piss really bad, right? You got to piss really bad, and you're like, fuck, I got to piss bad. And there's going, whoever's driving is like, hey, we're making great time, whatever. And then at some point, somebody else in the car goes, hey, Bob, can we pull over? I really got to use the bathroom. You go, oh, fuck
Thank
yeah.
Christ, yeah.
Thank Christ. And then you go, you kind of casual. Yeah, I guess I'll go in there, too.
Well, if Bob wants to stop.
I guess I'll go in there and shit my brains out, too. But it's so good when someone gets it before you.
Yes.
I was in the back of a Southwest flight. We were doing a show in Phoenix or something. It's got to be 12 years ago. And I was sitting back there. Big fat guy was trying to get his seatbelt on. And he couldn't do it. And he said to the flight attendant, he goes, hey, can I have the seatbelt extension on there? And she goes, yeah. And another fat dude, 3 seats ahead, goes, yeah, I'll take one too. I was like, oh, this is the best fucking day this guy's alive.
Yeah, if you're
going now?
just handing them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like for those of us who are alcoholics, it's like when somebody orders another martini for brunch, and you go, oh, yeah, grab me up. I'll take one here. Thank God that guy fucking had a drink because it's 10:45 in the morning, and I wanted a third martini. But the guy just casually is like, yeah, grab one. Grab one too for me.
As long as you're up.
Oh, what a fucking day for that guy, right? And that man's name was Kevin Smith.
I read about that.
Yeah. But he did. The guy got it's the Ada leaf. It's the it's the Thanksgiving when you pull
Right.
the table
Yeah.
apart.
The dining room, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Where were we, Gina?
There's
Brand?
a new Guinness Book World Record holder for the longest time playing a multiplayer online video game.
Oh, boy.
And it's not Sonny Carolla. A grown man in Canada named Bobby Gamachi recently played World of Warcraft for an impressive 44 hours, 44 minutes, and 44 seconds straight. He crushed the previous record of 32 hours and 34 seconds. Gamachi said to stay awake, he just ate healthy and tried to have people talking to him.
Jesus.
He's Mr. Diet and Exercise.
Also inadvertently set a record for longest time of never getting a blowjob. All right, sorry. I just lost momentum with my own joke.
42 years,
I
12
basically
months.
just jumped off my own moving joke.
You're like the Olympic gymnast. You're like biffs it on the
Yeah,
machine.
I'm not
but then
getting
at the
back
end
up.
goes like,
Yeah, no, more like the one that just wouldn't get back up onto the balance beam.
But the the fascination now with watching people play video games. That was always the shittiest part about when growing up. It's like, oh God, just fucking die already. Like you're waiting for your friend to die, and then they get like some trick that they knew about, up, left, right, A, B, and like 44 lives later, full health, and it's your shit. Now it's like people pay to watch these tournaments. They travel and they'll go to, there's a place in Burbank, the Blizzard Arena, and people show up and they watch people play games. And it's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever seen. They think they're athletes, so they wear jerseys. They have teams. It is the dumbest shit. And they think they're, again, athletes. This is like something that we're supposed to be like, wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well, also,
to them, they think that everybody's sitting here going, wow, that's really cool.
Also, poor shit I used to do, like that my kids would never do, is like go to the 7-Eleven in Toluca Lake, and I would just stand there. There's a kid named Chris Maslow who was really good at pinball. He's really killer at pinball. And he'd just be lighting it up like Tommy or something. And I would just stand next to him hours on end going, could I play one ball? Just could I know it's going to fuck your score up, but could I just, you just match, and you just go and like, you're lighting it up. And I'd just be like, just one ball. But could you imagine your kids just standing in a 7-Eleven watching another kid play pinball for an hour and going...
My kids don't understand the concept of commercials on TV. If you're watching something live, like a sporting event or whatever, fast forward it. Like, you can't, dude.
Right.
Like, this is called a commercial.
Right.
You have to sit through this shit. You couldn't just... I try to explain it and then you feel like you're 100, but... They just don't understand.
What else we got, Gina Grant?
A Florida woman has blamed her anger issues and her need to, quote, blow off steam for calling it a bomb threat to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Why did she do that? 54-year-old Adele...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Everyone calls in bomb threats. No one walks them in like we used to do back in the day. You know what I mean? Look a man in the eye. Tell him there's a threat of a bomb. Why this impersonal? I'm going to phone in. I'm going to text in a bomb threat. Walk that bomb threat in. Have
be a
some
man.
dignity. You owe it to that clerk. Sorry.
Well, this is why she did it. She was upset that she lost almost $400 playing slots. So she called the front desk and said, I left a bomb in your casino. Don't get that dropped. She stupidly made the call from her own cell phone. And since the number is linked to her Players Club reward.
Players Club? They still have Players Club?
Oh, that's how you get the free buffet. I mean, I don't know. And cops said she lost $380 on slots and called in the threat to blow off steam. She was arrested, charged with making a false report about planning a bomb and or a weapon of mass destruction.
Wasn't Telly Savalas for Players
That was
Club?
Diners Club.
That was the,
I think it was Players
It was
Club.
Players Club, but that was
International or
a
something
credit
like that.
card or some sort of loyalty.
Yeah, this is more like a Ralph's card.
No, this was, I mean, Max Spatter, someone can look it up, but Players Club with the Telly Savalas commercial I used to see in the 70s was kind of a casino. It was like a restaurant
across
casino.
many different properties.
Right,
and
right.
I think Players Club, obviously, I know it was the thing, but I think that name is like trademarked because every like MGM or whatever
They
has
have
their own
M-Life.
version of the M-Life.
It was always funny because even when I was 11, living in North Hollywood, California, and seeing Telly Savalas selling this Players Club membership thing, it always struck me as probably untrue because they would show the guy come into the fancy restaurant at the casino and he'd show his Players Club and then Mater D'd go, right this way. He'd grab like a candelabra and a phone to plug in at the table, like, right this way. And it's like, that'd be like you showing your Ralph's Club fucking lanyard somewhere and them going, oh, Mr. Carolla, right this way. We've been expecting you.
It was like Henry Hill at the Copa.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Seat on the dance floor.
Brought a table,
Yeah.
put it down,
Right.
put the cloth down on top of it. Yeah, it was a big deal, the Players Club. But anyway, Telly will be missed. Sorry.
That was the point.
That was the
Adam,
point.
do you want to hear a commercial?
I would like to hear. Where are you, Chris?
I'm in the booth. You want to hear?
He's right in front of you.
I have no idea where the booth is, so that's my problem. You have Players Club, the Telly Savalas.
Yeah,
Players
we got
Club
one. This one's from '86.
Okay, with Telly Savalas.
I love the excitement in Atlantic City and Las Vegas, and okay, I get VIP treatment. Now you too can get VIP treatment and big savings just by carrying the Players Club Go Card. You'll save money on rooms, on top-name entertainment, on food and beverages. Just join the club that's honored the world over. Atlantic City, Las Vegas, Reno, Tahoe, the Caribbean, all around the world. Hey, no strings attached to get the club's benefits. You listen to Telly? Call Players Club today. You want...
Yeah, by the way, these I have a black American Express card. Seems good. But I got to tell you, when I use it at the Home Depot in Burbank, the 22-year-old chick behind the counter thinks I'm a loser. She's like,
I've never seen this before.
I don't know this one. Sorry. Is this secured? Is this one of those secured ones?
Does it say WIC?
Yeah.
SID?
And then they always do this one. They go, it's so heavy. I'm like, yeah. Because we don't want to be able to scan it. And the other, rich white guy problems. The black card, when you go out and you go out to dinner and you get your booze on, always the little folder they give you with the receipt in it, it's black.
Oh,
this is a black on black crime. I'm pointing at you.
We're so sorry.
You get drunk and forget that card. You losers with your green card, man, that pops. That shit pops. But the winners with the black card, we can get lost in the sea of black. But they always give you this whole spiel about what the black card does, and you can walk into any airport lounge across whatever, and every single time I try to use that, they go, okay, you got the black card? I'm like, yeah, I got the black card. And they're like, do you have a first-class ticket to Mars? And I go, no, we're going to Chicago. Well, hit the bricks. And then they've somehow figured out the number to get you into the lounge that's kind of the perfect number, which is like they go, well, for $32, you can come in and hang out. But it's always like, my flight's leaving in 55 minutes. Right. I can go down to the Applebee's and spend $18. And it was also told to me that I was talking to Matt DeAndrea, who was I do CarCast with, and he was traveling through Phoenix. He got to the airport like 5 hours early. He had access to the lounge, but not that early.
Really?
I've never heard of that.
No.
Yeah, because we don't want you eating $187 worth of cheese before you get on the plane.
That's the thing, is once you pay the money, whatever it is, like you're going to get that much money's worth of food.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely shoved in the pockets. And I will, for all the, you guys don't look like you've ever seen the inside of a first class lounge, but I should tell you.
How dare you?
No, you're regular people, regular folk. Good salt of the earth.
Mustard crowd.
Save those jokes for Brea.
Yeah, you're right. No, you guys are real working class losers. All right. No. Let me tell you. No. Let me tell you what goes on. Let me tell you. Let me. I'll give you a peek behind the curtain. I will tell you, it's not worth the fucking first class lounge anymore because the whole COVID thing and everything is in its own little wrap.
Lunchable.
Nothing. Everything's a fucking Hot Pocket and a Lunchable. Right. And they've removed the one true attraction of the first class lounge, which was that soup. They always had this soup. That's
the attraction?
Yes, because...
That is the oldest thing I've ever heard.
It was. Right? They had...
They used to have Afghans for everyone's legs.
They had the crock pots, and it'd have like the cheesy broccoli or the minestrone, and they had soups, and you could ladle the soup in, and you could eat as much soup as you want. You could never feel... You could eat as much
still
soup
be home by Jeopardy.
That's right.
Are you gaslighting these poor people?
I'm telling you, hot soup... They've removed it now. It's a bygone era. 22 skidoo. Yep. There is no more soup at any of these first class lines. There's no more anything at the first class
There were
lines.
full bars back. I mean, not that long ago, right?
Yeah, they still they have the bars. It's always this weird sort of they don't define whether you pay or not before you get there, whether it's a cash bar or not. And, well, actually, you can figure out whether the bar's free or not by whether they let you in or not. Because if they go, yeah, go ahead and pay $11 for a beer, then no skin off their teeth. But, yeah, everything is prepackaged now. And, again, I don't want to get into too much detail. You guys know. Be there. But anyway, where were we?
What he's saying is you're not missing out on anything.
You're not missing out on anything.
No more soup.
No.
It's over.
You're not.
Yeah.
Soup,
Don't worry about it.
No soup.
Soup's gone.
Yeah.
No more soup.
Travel comfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do one more, Gina
All
Grant.
right. Well, according to a new poll by YouGov, 6% of Americans think they could win a hand-to-hand. Yes.
I saw this. No, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, I saw
Thinks
this.
May I?
Please. I was shocked by the results.
Thinks they could win a hand-to-hand fight with a grizzly bear. 8% believe they could beat a gorilla. And 15% think they'd win in a fight with a king cobra.
Yeah, it was a whole thing of like a list of animals that the American men think they could defeat in a hand-to-hand.
Did they not see The Revenant?
It was like 12% think they could beat an elephant.
Yeah.
An elephant.
I don't have any of those concerns, as Adam already pointed out. I'm getting killed by a Chinese guy. As my wife runs way far ahead of me.
Serpentine.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm fucked. So, no chance against the bear.
Because here's the thing. There's a thing that people think. It's sort of like the people who want to do stand-up who aren't funny. They think they're going to get on stage and something's going to kick in. It never kicks in. So that's the whole thing. It's like, I could be beaten up by a 13-year-old boy, but when that Kodiak bear rears back on its hind legs, something's going to kick in.
Sure.
Something's kicking in. And I'll fucking take that bear down because something magical is going to kick in.
Yes.
It doesn't kick in. The bear rapes the shit out of you. And if you're really unlucky, he invites your children in to watch. True story. Oh, Google that. Oh, look it up.
And
All right, Gina, should we bring it home?
Let's do that. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Quick break to tell you about our friends over at JB Weld. JB Weld, world's strongest bond. Pros have trusted it for over 50 years, but why hire a pro when JB Weld makes it easy to do yourself? We're proud to have JB Weld epoxy adhesives as a sponsor. I personally know the owner. These are good people, and I hung out with them when I was out in Vegas. So, DIY projects, auto, crafts, plumbing, marine, and more. Use on metal, wood, plastics, glass, ceramic. Keep in your kitchen drawer or put it in the craft supplies in the garage. I use it to fix Sonny's tennis shoe. You'll probably have a product that'll work to fix something around your house and save you a bunch of do-re-mi. JB Weld just acquired Herculiner, the original DIY truck bed liner. So if you're looking for the world's strongest truck bed liner, Herculiner has you covered. Right, Dawson?
JB Weld is available at jbweld.com, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, AutoZone, Advance Auto Parts, Napa, O'Reilly, Amazon, Michaels, and more. And remember, JB Weld epoxy products are proudly made in the USA. JB Weld, world's strongest bond.
And now back to the show. So these are all suggestions you guys have written down on these balls. Oh, you didn't get to put the ball on there? Oh, all right. I'll put it in the hopper, though. Okay, so it's in there. All right. Here we go, Woody. It's official. There you go.
There we go. How appropriate. Just says balls.
Balls. Said this about balls all the time. You know, other features look good or bad on men, like eyes, noses, your jawline, your teeth, your hairline, biceps, delts, triceps, glutes, everything else. Balls, that's an even match all the way down the line. George Clooney's balls and Danny DeVito's balls look exactly the same. You've read about it in the textbooks, but it bears repeating. If you took Dolph Lundgren at the height of his powers, the rocky years, and you took Screech's balls from Saved by the Bell, and you put them through a piece of plywood, and you could only see the nutsack, no woman would be able to decide, just based on the sack, which one of the gentlemen she wanted to sire her children. It's impossible. It's the great equalizer. I wish. Also, balls have their own smell, and I was talking about this when I was in Appleton, Wisconsin, but it bears repeating. Your balls have their own unique smell. The things around your balls, like your thighs and your dick, don't really have a smell. So your dick is really just like the cracker, and the balls are like the cheese. It's just a substrate for your balls. You may say a guy has a smelly dick, but it's really just because he's been fraternizing with the balls. You know what I mean? He's been running with a bad crowd. Your dick really smells about as much as your elbow is, but if your elbow had to hang out full time with your ball sack, people would be complaining about what your elbows smell like.
Because the balls are marinating more along the thigh and everything else, so there's more of an opportunity, the environment.
Yeah.
Itself more than that.
Yeah, and there's also a thing with the balls called, I think Dr. Drew called it Dartic's tunic, I think is what it is. It's basically, or the cremasteric response, this is a love line thing. Your balls will lift up when you go into cold water. So your balls are like, we would like our temperature to be the same all the time, and if you go into the ocean, your balls will go like, oh, it's too cold for my nutsack in here. So your balls will actually lift up like landing gear and go. Your balls know what they're doing. If anyone's ever tried to have kids, there's a lot of ball talk, you know what I mean? Like, what, are you wearing tight underwear? It's like, yeah, because the fellas love the banana hammock. So, yeah, I do. I wear a thong back, too. Any other questions? You got to keep your balls cool. That's one thing. I'll dump a little talc down the shores before I leave the house. Get an extra 3-5 wearings out of the underpants, you know? Oh, yeah. Because if you don't, your balls will wreck anything. Your balls are basically, and also everything around your balls will get corrupted. Like sometimes, you ever go to a party wearing a sweater and you don't smoke, but everyone else is smoking at the party, and then you come home and your wife's like, "You've been smoking? You smell like smoke." That's what your balls do to your cock. It's the exact same. 1,000%. Okay. We get it. You know you're getting older, by the way, when you find a gray pube on your balls. Also, ball hair is unlike any other hair on your body in that, like, your hair on your head grows, but it all grows at the same rate, and then you get a haircut. You check your balls, you'll find a bunch of hairs that are 7/8 of an inch, and then one that's 11 inches. Where did this one super hair spring from? How did I miss the one hair that was a foot long in a sea of 5/8? Can you imagine if your head worked that way? It's like that one hair that's dragging on the ground. But the rest, he's got himself a military cut. Yeah, so the balls are all over the place. I'll tell you this, and perhaps we've spoken too much about the balls already, but I will tell you, if you ever find like a whitehead or a zit or anything on your ball sack, you can go to town with impunity. I mean, you get the zit on your forehead, you can't go at it with the needle nose because you got to go to fucking work on Monday and everyone's going to be pointing at it. You get the balls in there, you get that bench vise out, and acetylene torch, and go to town. And also, you know, it's weird. Here's an interesting revelation. The balls are very sensitive. And anyone who knows, anyone's been kicked in the balls or took a knee in the nuts or whatever knows. Although, the thing about getting hit in the nutsack, there's a delay. Like if somebody threw a hard ball and hit you right in the groin, and somebody immediately after said, "How's it feel?" You'd go, "I don't know. I need and then you'd keel over. But you don't know it immediately. Like you cut your thumb on a bandsaw, you know it immediately. You get hit in the ball sack, you need like a 4 Mississippi, and it either kicks in or it doesn't. But I will say this about the nutsack. Very sensitive. Everyone knows. Very delicate. A lot of pain down there. The balls themselves actually transmit a lot of pain into the human body. But the skin, the ball sack itself, you can put a cigarette out on a ball sack and I wouldn't fucking wake up. If you woke... Let's try this. Next time I fall asleep, you can't kick me in the nuts, but you could put a Tipperillo out on my nutsack and I'm not sure if I would wake up. So the nuts are very delicate, but the skin around it, the Crown Royal sack that holds the royal balls, impervious to pain.
The kick or the graze, is that worse? I think the graze is worse.
The what?
If you get graze, it's like...
Oh, the graze.
The graze.
Oh, the graze.
Like
Sorry.
Be grazed, like grazed with a bullet.
Yeah.
Grazed in the nuts is worse
than you're right.
Straight up, kicked in the nuts.
Right, yeah. It's a good point.
I don't know why.
No, I'm with you.
It makes no sense.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's like the graze is worse than a fucking head-on collision in the nutsack. It hurts more. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's like the time I was standing on the roof of the Mulholland Club, and it's 3 stories, and we had to jump off the roof into the swimming pool at midnight. Well, we didn't have to do it, but we chose to do it. And I said to everyone who was jumping, I said, either hit the pool full on, catch nothing but water, or land on the slab of cement. If you land half in the pool, it'll be twice as worse, right? It's twice as bad. Now, you'd think mathematically half me in the pool would be half as bad as missing the pool. No. It is twice as bad than missing it altogether. And that's what the graze in the nutsack is like. Yeah, it makes sense. I know. It's an analogy you guys have heard many times.
And there were rocks on that roof, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Gravel on in a parapet.
I don't know how you made it to the pool.
Yeah.
All right, the next ball, it says Sagadouche. I don't know what the hell that means.
You know what Sagadouche is? Whose is this? Is that the world's worst Armenian teenage boy's name? Sagadouche Gergos! Get in the house! Sagadouche! Friday night's kebab nights. Get in here. Sagadouche, don't lower your BMW. You're hurting its resale value. Sagadouche, no one knows where that fucking flag is that's swinging off the back of your car. Sagadouche. We don't care. We don't know the difference between genocide and ethnic cleansing, and we don't even know where Turkey is. Move on. Sagadouche, turn the page. Sagadouche, you're going to buy the beer for us because you're 14 and you have a beard. Sagadouche. Women like the smell of Axe, but they don't like the smell of you being dipped in Axe. You have to spray it on gingerly. Sagadouche, turn down that System of a Down. It's all the Sagadouche. That's all the Sagadouche jokes I got.
All right, the next one up, probably a thing or two to say about liberal.
Liberal. It used to be a good thing, right? Like you go, I'm liberal, like I'm living what let live. Like liberal used to mean like, yeah, you want to grow a pot plant in your backyard, grow pot plants. None of my fucking business. Liberal meant it was none of your fucking business. That was the basic. definition. Like, hey, you two guys want to get married? Yeah, go ahead. Like, I'm liberal. Like, what do I give a fuck for? You want to grow some weed, or you want to fucking grow your kid's hair out, or you want to name your son Sagadoosh? Like, go ahead. I am liberal. So as long as you're not trying to hurt me or my family, then why do I get a vote? Like, I don't care what the fucking business you do. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you date. I don't care. I'm a liberal. When did liberals become the fucking world's policemen? When did they fucking start deciding what you could say and what you could do and whether who was... Imagine the burden of deciding who's racist and who's not racist and who's filled with hate and who's homophobic. I mean, it's no wonder they're the most fucking miserable douches on the planet because they have to walk around all day deciding as the arbiter, as the police, as the Mason-Dixon line of, well, I'm burdened all day. Why? Because I have to decide who's liberal and who's homophobic and who's racist and who's xenophobic and who's genderphobic and who's everything. How about you fucking get on with your fucking life, liberals? How about it? How about it? I love it. Oh, I'm liberal, but you must think exactly like me on every fucking subject, otherwise I'll have you canceled. Oh, that's the definition of liberal, isn't it, everyone? Like, yes, I'm the most liberal guy in the world as long as you fucking vote in lockstep with me with every single thought I've ever had. And by the way, the thoughts I had on Tuesday shall be very different on Thursday. So just because we agreed 10 minutes ago doesn't mean we agree now. Yeah, oh, you didn't think you were racist? Well, there's environmental racism now. So you're fucked. So talk your way out of that. Fuck anointed these people the umpires of our universe. Like, they're going to fucking call balls and strikes. These drunken, retarded, fucking blind, morbidly obese umpires are going to be the ones behind the plate calling the game for us? Fuck you. And, by the way, the people liberals hate the fucking most, and these are the new liberals. The old liberals were fine. The old liberals just wanted to live and let live. It's the new ones who've decided they need to tell you how to live every facet of your life. What drives them the most insane is when you go, they go like, hey, you're misogynistic or xenophobic or whatever, and you go, yeah, okay, fuck you. I'm moving on. And they go, yo, you need to apologize. You go, fuck you very much. I'm gonna get on with my fucking life over here. And they're like, they get apoplectic because you're like, wait a minute. I was put on this planet to control your life, and you can't ignore me in my decrees. Now, the only way these people are going to go away is if everyone just sort of collectively and universally tells them to fuck off. And that's the only language they understand. They just want you, if you backpedal, you're just going to start walking backwards slowly, then you're going to start walking backwards quickly, and at a certain point, you're going to be running at a full fucking gallop. That's all they understand. By the way, they don't believe in any of the shit they're talking about. They want control over you. They want dominion over you. And the only thing you can tell them is, this fucking American suck my dick. So get in the habit of it, everybody.
Because what you're talking about is like a herd immunity, right? Like, once you get to that point where everybody has enough of this shit, but I think because of the way things are, eventually everyone's going to end up stepping in shit, and someone's going to be there trying to cancel them, and so that's when they're going to have their moment of like, wait a minute, I've been trying to cancel all these other people, now it's coming after me, now they're on the go fuck yourself train.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now that's their form of vaccination.
Yeah, I agree. And also, the rules are, I mean, you just take COVID, right? You just take the subject of COVID, right? All right, here are the rules. No dining outdoors. No laying down on the beach. You got to wear a fucking mask if you're going to walk outside. Where did it emanate from? Like, why? Well, it must have been a pangolin. Or it must have been a shoehorn bat or something like that. There's a fucking virology lab that's 8 minutes away. Could it have been from there? 100% no. I know. Right, I was a Chicano studies major at CSUN, but I'll tell you what I do know. I do know this thing came from a bat in Wuhan, and it could have never come from a lab. And so your job is to fucking follow in lockstep with all the retarded decrees. And if you don't go along with every fucking single one of those, then you're some sort of denier. But does that make you a COVID denier, or does that make you someone who's into fucking data and the truth?
Common sense.
It's fucking nuts. I got more shit than ever. Basically, all I said was, if you're fat and you're old, you're fucked. I'm not so sure this thing came out of a cave in Wuhan, considering that there's a lab that's working on the exact same thing a stone's throw from the wet market. No, I don't think laying down on the fucking beach is dangerous. And hey, fucking pussy teachers unions, get the fuck back to work. There's no danger at schools. Those are all the crazy COVID-denying thoughts that I had over the last year, but I got to be fucking canceled. Why? Because I got 2 fucking brain cells to rub together, and you fucking sheep who are basing your shit on nothing other than fear. Oh, you don't want to get canceled. You're worried about what someone will fucking say on Twitter. Well, fucking nut up. Get that... Throw a sack and get a life.
There's no way it could have come from the lab. Just the same way that's not beer you smell when you're in Van Nuys next to the Anheuser Brewery.
Right,
you know,
right. Yeah.
There's no way it got out. They're making the shit in
Here's
there.
how I know these people are full of shit. There's a virus that got released from Wuhan, right? In Wuhan is a wet market. And then there's a place that makes these viruses. Now, if you want to be agnostic about it, I'm with you. Like, you can go, I don't know, maybe it came from the guy that sells falafels in Wuhan in the wet market, or maybe it came from the lab that experiments on such viruses. I'm agnostic about it. But the second you tell me I'm a racist because I think maybe it came from the lab versus the fucking fish market in Wuhan, now I know you're full of shit. That's how I know. And by the way, if you want to be an expert on COVID, all you have to do is just listen to what our mayor and our governor said, and anyone on CNN said about COVID for the last year and a half. Just do the opposite of every single thing they said, and you shall be a fucking expert on COVID. That's how this works. All right. I want to thank Woody. Let me give you a plug here, Woody. I don't know where your goddamn...
I got nothing really to plug.
Plug went.
I'm on the radio.
He's on the radio.
That's it.
Did I have it? Oh, I got it. Woody, The Woody Show. There you go. Alt 98.7. And listen to him 5 days a week. I want to thank Gina and Bryan for coming out here. Woody for doing a great job. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla saying mahalo.